You know that sound, that deep, throaty rumble. Have you ever stopped and wondered what's actually going on under the hood to create that iconic noise and all the power that comes with it? Well, today we're going to tear one down and find out. So here's the game plan. We'll kick things off with the absolute basics. What is a V8 anyway? Then we're going to peek inside at all the key parts, break down the four-stroke cycle that makes it all work, and really get into what gives it that legendary power and sound. And to wrap it up, we'll look at the differences between petrol and diesel V8s. All right, first things first. Before we can really get the V or the 8, we have to understand what any engine is actually trying to do. At its very core, a car engine is just an amazing energy converter. It takes the chemical energy that's packed into fuel, lights it on fire to create a huge amount of pressure, and then, through some clever mechanics, it turns that straight-line push into the spinning motion that makes your wheels go round. And that brings us right to the V8. It's an engine that does this job with 8 cylinders, but the secret sauce is in the arrangement. Instead of lining them all up in one long row, they're split into 2 banks of 4, tilted away from each other. And that creates the V shape. It's not just for looks either. It makes the whole package more compact and better balanced. So yeah, it's really that straightforward. V for the shape, 8 for the cylinders.
Okay, so now for the really fun part. Let's crack this thing open and see how the magic actually happens. We're going to meet the main characters in this little drama of power.
An engine is just this incredible dance of parts all working together in perfect time. You've got the cylinder, the piston that moves inside it, the crankshaft, valves, a whole team of components. Let's take a look at the most important players, one by one. Meet the piston. This guy is the real muscle of the operation. It's basically a solid metal plug that lives inside that hollow cylinder. When the fuel ignites, there's a massive explosion that slams this piston down with incredible force. And that simple up and down movement, that's where it all begins. But here's the thing, right? A car can't just hop up and down to get down the road. It needs rotation. This is where the real genius of an engine shows up, the crankshaft. It's a beautifully designed rod that works kind of like the pedals on a bicycle. It takes that straight-line force from the piston and brilliantly converts it into the spinning motion that eventually turns the wheels. Now, for any of this to work, an engine needs to breathe, just like us. And it's super simple. You've got an intake valve, think of it as the mouth, that lets the good stuff, the air and fuel, in. Then you've got the exhaust valve, which lets all the used up burnt gases out. In with the good, out with the bad.
So, we've met all the parts. How do they all work together? Well, they perform this perfectly timed, ridiculously fast sequence. It's like a 4-step mechanical ballet that repeats thousands of times every single minute.
Here's the performance in 4 acts. Step 1, intake. The piston moves down, sucking in that mix of air and fuel. Step 2, compression. The piston shoots back up, squeezing that mixture super tight. Step 3, power. Kaboom! The mixture ignites, violently forcing the piston down. And finally, step 4, exhaust. The piston moves up one last time to push all the leftover smoke out. Suck, squeeze, bang, blow. That's the rhythm. Now, out of those 4 steps, only one of them really matters for moving the car, the power stroke. That's the only point in the whole cycle that's actually creating force. The other 3 steps are basically just the setup and the cleanup for that single powerful explosion. And get this, that entire 4-step dance we just walked through happens in each of the 8 cylinders more than 2,000 times every single minute. And that's just when you're cruising on the highway. The speed of it all is just, it's mind-boggling. Okay, so now we know how it works. But why is the V8 so special? What makes it such an icon of performance? Let's connect the engineering to the actual experience. It really boils down to 3 main things. First, it's simple math. More cylinders means more of those power strokes are happening at any given second. More explosions means more force. Second, they make a lot of torque. Just think of torque as raw pulling power. It's what gets a heavy truck moving from a dead stop. And third, the power delivery is incredibly smooth. With 8 cylinders firing one after another, you don't get the shakiness of a smaller engine. And what about that sound, that legendary rumble? It's not an accident. It's the engine's signature tune. It's all because of the unique firing order. Since the cylinders from the 2 different banks fire in a specific alternating pattern, the exhaust gas comes out in these uneven pulses, and our ears hear that unique rhythm as a deep, satisfying rumble.
All right, to finish up, it's important to note that not all V8s are created equal. Let's quickly look at the two main flavors you'll find out there, the petrol V8 and the diesel V8.
The single biggest difference between them is ignition, how they make the bang. A petrol V8 uses a spark plug to create a tiny bolt of lightning to set off the fuel. A diesel V8, no spark plugs. Instead, it uses pure compression. It squeezes the air so much that it gets crazy hot, and when the fuel is injected, it instantly explodes. This one difference is why diesels rev lower but make massive torque, and why petrol engines are known for that high-revving, sporty sound. That difference also has a big impact on fuel economy. As a general rule, diesel V8s are just more efficient. They'll get you quite a bit farther on a tank of fuel compared to a petrol engine. And for big trucks that need to haul heavy loads all day, that efficiency is a really big deal. So where are you going to find these engines out in the wild? Well, they're in legendary American muscle cars like the Mustang and the Camaro. They're the heart and soul of powerhouse pickup trucks like the Dodge Ram. And they're in super tough SUVs like the Toyota Land Cruiser. Pretty much, if a vehicle needs to do serious work or go seriously fast, there's a good chance a V8 is under the hood. You know, for over a century, the V8 has been this incredible symbol of automotive power and passion. It really is a masterpiece of engineering. But as we all barrel towards an electric future, it leaves us with a pretty big question. Is the iconic roar of the V8 destined to fade away and be replaced by the quiet whisper of the past?